Go. Thank. So, let's start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, man.
Yep.
Alright. Hello, everyone. Gonna be playing Indiana Jones. Enemy's gonna be doing the commentary. Keep quiet, because helps me focus. Here we go. All three movies. Start.
Okay, so like Ant said, we're going to be doing all three movies. Starting off with Raiders of the Lost Ark, the best movie. And we're going right into the cavern that he is spelunking through here, getting his treasure. And right off the bat, you just see what this game is throwing at you with all of the bats and all of these little traps that pop up out of the floor that aren't immediately obvious. A lot of one-hit kills in this game, a lot of pits that you can fall into. Obvious pits and less obvious pits as the game goes on. But you're going to be seeing Ant do a lot of deboosting and a lot of trying to avoid RNG bats and birds throughout this run. Right here, he's just doing his best to avoid these traps, avoid these blow darts that are getting shot at him. He's going to roll past this bird. Oh no, he chooses to walk past him. He's a little bit ahead of where he is normally. And just deep boosting through that trap there. So he's just trying to get to the end of this stage right here and coming up to a more iconic part in the movies and indeed in this game. And watch out for these nasty piranhas here. And that'll do it for the starter. But now this is quite the confounding stage when you're just picking up this game for the first time. So Indy gets his treasure and he's making his escape, and of course in the movies he's chased by this gigantic boulder, and it's no different here. Unfortunately though, you're basically going up and down these hills blind and having to deal with a bunch of traps, and if you're knocked back into this boulder at all, if you touch it even just a little bit, you are dead. It's a one-hit kill. This game gives no quarter at this part, so you see just how much of the screen real estate the boulder's taking up. But Ant, being the pro that he is, able to navigate these traps expertly, no problem for him. You want to jump up these hills as you go and walk down them as you go down. Maintain your speed advantage over this boulder. As long as he can do that, as long as he can avoid touching the boulder, he's going to be okay. And so far, so good here. These falling boulders, dude, are just foreground stuff. They don't hurt him at all. No problem there. So now we are making our way over to Nepal, where you're going to see the snowy environment and some more trolly enemies. This is going to be the theme throughout. Enemies just spawning right on top of Ant and getting in his way and doing their best to make him either fall into a pit or get that last little sliver of health out of the way. But we see Ant collecting the whip at the start of the stage. For all of the stages where he wants to have the whip, he's going to have to collect it at the start. You would think that Indiana Jones would bring his iconic whip with him, but no. In fact, you have to collect it at the start of every stage. Right there, Ant with the big time drop there, swinging across. It's a pretty dangerous technique. If he misses that, he is dead, but he gets it no problem. Now he's making his way up past these snowballs of doom. These riflemen as well. The riflemen are, I would say, by far the least concerning enemy in this stage. More dropping and swinging across these hooks here. And on to Marian's bar, which is a little bit different than you might remember it from the movie. It's about 20 stories tall, and rather than being in a big brawl and a big firefight, we're just fighting fire. Of course, the bar does get set on fire in the movie, but the blaze is a little bit different to deal with in this one. So Ant's going to be making a climb as the fire rises up on the stage to come after him. Having to avoid these falling platforms here. And makes way to the top where he'll have a little mini-boss fight. He's keeping a very good pace ahead of this fire here. You're not even seeing it really well. He's still out there for just a moment as he gets into boss fight. He's going to use that grenade right at the start to do significant damage to the boss, and he's just going to whip him a couple extra time, send him packing. And it's over and out for this stage. So now from Nepal, we're going over to Cairo.
Let's go.
And we're going to see a little bit more platforming this time. A little bit more, I don't know, classic gameplay, I guess you'd say, but maybe not so classic for the Indiana Jones series. But yeah, we're going to be traversing the streets of Cairo here for a little bit, avoiding the gunfire and the pots being thrown out at him, and adjusting some of these I guess you'd call them jugs, in order to get up to higher platforms, get up and over these buildings to the end of the stage. Gotta watch out for these monkeys throwing their unspeakables at Indy here. We just have to manipulate the environment just a little bit to get up there. Ant does a little bit of a skip there. There's a couple of hooks that you want to swing across if you're doing this in the intended way. Ant skips 2 of them and swings right up to the top of the building. A very nice time saving there. Now we're at the section where the jugs, the little platforms that he's moving around, are placed behind walls. He's got to knock them over and around that section to make his way through. And again, the gunmen tend to be the least dangerous enemy right here, but now Ant has a gun, and there you see the famous scene from the movie where Harrison Ford improvised, just shooting the guy with the big sword. Works in this movie too. It's a little bit underwhelming in this one, but no matter. Ant has picked up the gun to start this stage, and he'll be doing a second auto-scroller, where he's got to dispatch of this guy throwing bales of hay at him. And then he's going to be doing his best boxing impression here. Now, if Ant does this just right, if he finds the correct pixel and his timing is just perfect, he can stun lock this enemy that's going to fall from the sky. There he is. You have to defeat him in order to get past the stage, and he does. And now Ant's able to jump off the cart. If you jump off the cart before you defeat that enemy, it is a death, but no problem for Ant there.
Let's go.
Jump just right. After that fight, you could also outrun the horse, which I was trying to do.
And making it look easy to get past these enemies. Those sword guys, if you're playing casually, are a real nightmare. They'll get right up in your business and cut you down before you have anything to say about it. But he's jumping right past them, no problem. Got to avoid these rats too. You see them jumping over, they will damage you. Pretty much everything in this game is out to destroy young Indy. Well, not young Indy. We won't see him in this game, unfortunately. No River Phoenix, but younger Indy, I should say.
Missed opportunity.
You can only fit so much back in the SNES games. I don't know why they had to pick that exact moment to toss those jugs out of their window right as you're walking past, but it's pretty rude.
Let's go.
Now we're starting to see the game get a little bit more heavily armed. We certainly have seen ramping up of gunfire throughout, but now it's really all soldiers all the time in this stage. Ant's doing a good job of avoiding them, taking the proper path here. But that's really the enemy he's contending with here, as well as a few birds. And of course, birds are jerks. But they're going to be jerks even more so later on, as we see Ant rolling down this minecart path here, making his way through this stage. One of the easier stages in the game, in my estimation. But now, now we're on to the Well of Souls, where there are pits filled with snakes and enemies that like to knock you into those pits. Right off the start, Indy's going to blow open these walls here, which normally take 2 punches, I believe. But if he has grenades, he can get through them very quickly. Again, dispatching all those bats very quickly. Those bats give you a hard time throughout. You see him going through this very obvious path here through the wall, and bypassing some of the stage here. He's got to time it just right. Oh man, and he nips off the edge of that moving platform there that was above the snake pit. But he had a very nice checkpoint there. Yeah, unfortunately, when you use those grenades like that, it becomes a little bit difficult to see exactly what you're doing. So again, a little nip off the platform that Ant was going for there. There are pretty big jumps that you have to make over there for no extension platform coming out, as we see in other parts here. See that one retracting right as Ant is trying to keep this barrier destroyed and gets to the Ark of the Covenant. But we're not done with this movie yet. We have a little bit more to do. So now we're trying to escape the Well of Souls. The light has been taken away. The escape has been blocked off. Now we have to make our way up and out of the Wells of Soul, or Well of Souls here. You see this platform just not cooperating for Ant right now as he tries to make it up there. There he goes.
Super tight window. Miss, you could fall all the way down. Everything including your mind.
And of course, more snakes for good measure. They have the line in there, snakes. Doesn't say why did it have to be snakes. Limited space, I guess, on the cart. It's cool that there's any voice at all. But we make it out of the Well of Souls, and now it's on to what I'm sure is Ant's favorite stage. Featuring a heavy usage of Nazi birds, as they're just dropping these rocks all over the stage and trying to bash in Indy's head. Once again, the guys with the guns, by far the least of the concerns here. Oh, Ant gets a nice jump there to get past those birds. Those birds can ruin your day very easily. Drop a rock on you right as you're jumping over. Oh, knock it down, but the boost goes in Ant's favor. He's able to get over. Health got a little low there, but fortunately the stage is short. It's daunting, but it's short. And that'll take us in to our final fight here in the first movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark, against Belloc. Of course, everyone remembers this scene from the movie, where instead of his face melting off, Belloc becomes a god and jumps around for a little bit while he whips him. There's a lot of liberties taken in the game to make the gameplay more fun, I guess. But easy as that. It's a very easy fight. So at least once you get to the boss fights, it's you get a little bit of a reprieve. But the stages certainly throw a lot at you. And we are on to Temple of Doom.
Worst of the three movies. Right.
The worst of the three movies.
Three.
And, three. Oh yeah, but what? Of course three. What? Who would even argue that there's a different number of movies? So right off the bat, a very different sort of stage where you see all these gunmen in the rafters trying to shoot at Indy. He's got to avoid the shots on the screen, as you can see there. And of course, that's the table of safety. Even though he's standing up, they could have just lit him up. No, it's fine. That's the safe spot.
Let's go.
club owner invested in bulletproof tables, man.
I feel like you were on the wrong side of the table to be safe, though. Doesn't matter. You're safe. That's all that counts. So now, again, more platforming here for Indy as we're going up and over this city, trying to avoid Lao Che and his men. And again, that just, it's weird how in video games, all of the NPCs choose the exact moment as you go past them to throw all of their trash outside of their window. No problem for Ant. As we get to... So, there's a series of auto-scrollers in this game that... I don't know, they annoy me. So Ant's going to be rafting down a snowy mountain here, which okay, that's fine. Let's set aside how that might actually go. That's not the issue. But you see, Ant's jumping over these pits here. He falls into any of these pits, he's going to die. So he has to make sure he avoids that. There are collectibles. You don't actually have to collect them. You just have to avoid all of the pitfalls and the rocks, the trees, and all that sort of thing. And you just keep going for a while. And before too long here, Ant is Ant's going to continue jumping over these pits, and then a little, to my mind, a weird ending happens in this stage.
This is also like the longest stage in the game.
I guess it is, actually. The longest and, what, the simplest?
I wouldn't say simplest, but...
Well, you make it look easy.
There's nothing to it, like... And... if you die, at any point, you start at the beginning of the stage.
Alright, so, yeah, you don't want to die.
No.
But again, we're just jumping over every pit that we see, and we come up here, at the end, and just fall into that pit. That was the magical pit, where if you fall into that, you go on to Pankot Palace.
Direct
I
path.
don't get it. I don't know why that's... Dodge every pit except for the one where we say the stage is over. So now we're playing hide-and-go-seek a little bit. Indy is moving the statues to presumably make a little secret path open up, except it's... You kind of have to use your imagination a little bit on this one.
The stage, incredibly mazy. When I played it casually as a kid, get lost in here for 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, I could see this being a real nightmare casually. Speedrun wise, it's pretty simple.
I don't know if there's any kind of downtime in this run, but can you lower your microphone settings if you do have a free moment at any point?
Let's go.
So now onto the Temple of Doom here. And more bats means more fun. But instead of snakes this time, we just have pits of lava to fall into, so... I guess that's better. I don't recall a point at which Indy says he's afraid of lava. It's a little bit weird that Ant is collecting hearts throughout these Temple of Doom stages. The implications being that these are the hearts that were ripped out of the folks by what's his name? Right here. Yeah, Molaram. It's been a while for me watching this. But this stage right here, this is the second half of the Temple of Doom, and It's a doozy. Not only are you dealing with all the bats and all the spearmen, but you have these little exploding boulders throughout that just toss all of these little bits at you. And your life is really at a premium throughout this stage. So it's Ant's got to be very careful throughout this one as he makes his way through this stage. Some of the other stages are very brief, and while they throw a lot of nasty enemies at you, it's not quite as dense as this stage. Talking with Ant before this, right? He said this was probably the scariest stage. But so far, so good for me. That bat's getting a little better of him right there. And makes it through, no problem. But now from one doozy of the stage to another, onto the minecart escape here. And sort of similar to the Snowy Mountain, this stage will just abruptly end when it's time. But for right now, what Ant has to do is destroy these barriers that are in his way while also triggering the track to switch as he needs it. And those track triggers are a little tough to hit at times. The sprite is very small. It's kind of a frustrating stage in that it looks very basic as you watch, but it's one that just creeps up on you and you run. Though in fairness, not a ton of first-person shooting.
Let us come.
And here we are at the end of Temple of Doom, fighting Molaram on the bridge, and it's somewhat less harrowing an experience as it is in the movie. But that'll do it for Temple of Doom. We're going on to, I know so many people love The Last Crusade. What's not to love? Harrison Ford, Sean Connery, OMG S. Connery, Junior, got the whole deal. It's the most accurate recreation, I think.
Rap.
I don't really think that. So right off the bat, you have these wall of flames that just come after Ant as he's making his way through the rat-infested sewers. No big deal, as he knows what his timing is in this. But obviously, one-hit kill. Fire, no problem for Ant there as he's on to Castle Brunwald.
Let's go.
We're just about in the home stretch here. A couple more stages to go. We see Ant picking up the whip there, and he's gonna make it through this stage and then come up to a really cool strat that he does. But right now, he's just gonna make his way past all these Nazis and go pick up Dad. Weird, you would think if the Nazis had Nazi bird technology in the first movie, they might use it throughout the others, but they really didn't. Now it's all just dudes that he's fighting. And dudes, again, continue to not be a true threat to him. And here we go. Just leaves him there. Just leaves him there. He says junior and
Let's go.
everything. Nope, I'm out. Because now it's time to go swinging. So now Ant picks up his whip here, as you have to do at the stage, and we're not swinging here. We're going to be doing some 4-frame taps here to make his way right across this stage as quickly as possible. If he messes up just one here, he's very likely going to die. There are only a limited number of platforms he can land on throughout the stage. But no problem for Ant, as he's going all the way across. And done. It's making it look so easy. Are you kidding me?
Let's go.
Now onto the blimp stage. And just workermen now. Not even as many soldiers, just guys with wrenches. Blimp is a little bit larger than what you might recall from the movie, but it's what you get. You got to flesh it out a little bit for the game. And the obligatory Mode 7 stage coming up here with the RNG planes. You are, of course, in a balsa wood plane. It is very, very fragile. And with these planes randomly spawning, if they are able to shoot Ant, they will pretty much shoot him 4 times. And Ant has, I believe, only 6 hits that he can take. So it's a very scary stage. It looks very simple because it's so slow moving and the planes seem to take forever to show up on the screen. But if they get him at all, it's pretty much a nasty situation. So far, it's going pretty well for them. Managing to avoid that fire from these planes. And again, this being sort of an, oh geez, there we go. He's got 1 hit left. See, that's the one plane. It looks like he made it. Yes, he did. He made it through there. Again, one of these auto scrollers that just sort of ends out of nowhere. Made it through without dying. That's a big one. It's so easy to die in that stage. You see right here, Ant choosing not to get the whip at the start. Just gotta make his way past these guys throwing their knives at him. Nearing the conclusion here of the final movie in Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventures. The boy, that final stage. But we'll talk about that in a second, because right now we've got M. Bison right here fighting on top of a tank. You see Ant just wants to get his hits in, jump down, and then come back up and bop him. Ant has a little bit of a health issue, but no problem there. Gets it done. You got to get the guy killed before the tank goes off the cliff. And Ant is able to do that as he goes into the final full stage here, where the game throws everything it has left at you. Ant picking up his whip. Now you see these, I guess we'll call them thwomps, being dropped on Ant. To use Ant's words, earlier in the game, boulder, 1-hit kills you if you touch it. These swamps all fall on you. It's fine. You just keep going. Does a little bit of damage. But you see, we're just everything spikes. There's blades coming up out of the ground. You still have these knife throwers, the thwomps. these boulders falling on your head. Just a real nasty stage if you were to play it casually. It's not to say that things can't go sideways here for Ant, but as long as he keeps moving, avoid some of that damage. There is a lot of health pickups there, so it just has to not get caught up on any one particular trap. He'll make his way onto the final fight. Oh no! And there's that one particular trap right there. Commentator's curse, y'all. Just getting knocked back by that blade into the pit. We'll get right back at it here. This is making his approach to the final boss of the game. And here we go. So, no Jehovah blocks. We're skipping all that. We're jumping right into the epic showdown between Indy and the skeleton. I don't know what you were expecting, but this is what you're getting. And there we go. Hey, and a gold split for good measure on the final split there for Ant.
That's Indiana Jones's greatest adventures.
It was a great adventure.
The greatest adventures. Right off into the sunset, never to make another movie ever again.
That checks out.
I think so. Yeah, that was fun. Thank Speed Gaming, Feasel, and Mythical for having me. Enemy, thank you for doing commentary.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
Thank you. 30, 40, a good marathon. So, yeah. Thanks for watching.